She pressed record and instantly launched a smear campaign over a pastry. I wish I were joking. One second, she was praising pumpkin croissants. The next, she was practically foaming at the mouth over a pistachio dessert. Yes, besties, Glamorama, a self-proclaimed food reviewer, tried to cancel a small bakery because they wouldn't give her free food. And when they said no, she took it personally. Very personally. Like scorched earth personally. But what she didn't expect was the internet turning the tables fast, hard, and without mercy. This is a story about what happens when fake reviews, freebie entitlement, and unchecked ego meet a business that's had enough. Buckle up because this one's messier than a meal few. Glamorama is a TikTok food influencer who visited JL Pastry in Scottsdale, Arizona. She allegedly reached out to them first, asking for a free collab meal in exchange for a review. The bakery politely declined, saying they didn't have the budget. Instead of letting it go, Glamorama went in the next day anyway, filmed her meal, and later posted a vicious takedown. She criticized their pastries, insulted the color of their pistachio dessert, trashed the coffee, and called the cannoli overpriced. JL Pastry clapped back with screenshots, including her messages asking for free food. Glamorama tried to deny it, then posted the same screenshots herself. The internet dragged her. She deleted posts, changed her name, and issued a fake-sounding apology. Here's the problem we're unpacking. What happens when influencers confuse clout with power and get caught? Let's rewind and walk through it from the top, because this wasn't just your average food review. It was a full-on takedown with a splash of petty and a heavy pour of entitlement. So, Glamorama, a self-labeled food critic who loves to stare at drama as much as she stares espresso, decided to roll up to JL Pastry. And from the moment she walked in, it felt like she had her camera in one hand and a grudge in the other. She filmed herself eating, sipping, chewing, and side-eyeing the menu like it had personally offended her. Then she uploaded a review that made Gordon Ramsay look like a Care Bear. In this video, she dragged everything, and I mean every crumb.
People, I do not mind spending $10 on a pastry if they are really good, but you cannot use fake ass ingredients. That pistachio color is about as natural as my boobs, ass, and waistline. The coffee was super sour and acidic, but I prefer a creamy chocolatey espresso. $5 for a canali. I didn't even pay that, and Sandro fucking paid, but that's the price next to the Phoenix airport? Okay. I was also super disappointed in the quiche. I prefer a quiche with a thick, rich, buttery crust. This had a paper thin crust. If I wanted to ingest this much eggs, I would have eaten an omelet. I absolutely loved the pumpkin pie croissant, but everything was a little on the sweet and rich side, which some people love. Personally, I like my sweets a little less sweet, so I'd rather get treated like shit and go to Paris again. Now, with all of that being said, I think if you stay away.
Let's start with the pistachio dessert. She looked at it, and the first thing out of her mouth was a comment about how the color reminded her of her own chest. I can't make this up. She turned pistachio gelato into a body comparison moment on Maine.
Not use fake ass ingredients. That pistachio color is about as natural as my boobs, ass, and waistline.
This is such a nasty video, like such a nasty video. And I just want to say, if you have ever traveled outside of the United States, you would know that food outside of the United States tastes like different, especially in Europe. I've been to Japan, I've been to Italy, I've been to London, and food will taste differently because it is more natural. The reason being is because we use certain chemicals here in the United States that are actually banned in other parts of the world for preservatives and things like that that will change color, will change taste, etc. And so when I see a video that says, oh, like the pistachio color is fake as whatever, girl, the only thing that's fake is whatever you just mentioned about yourself. And I'm not going to mention it again because, I mean, you did it. You did it. I'm like flabbergasted that someone could be so just not educated. If you are going to be a food reviewer, then you need to be educated on the kind of food that you are reviewing. And I think the most embarrassing thing about this is the fact that you weren't even invited. Girl, nobody invited you to the party. You just showed up. And that's embarrassing.
And I am just sitting there like, girl, that's not that kind of review. Then she sipped the coffee, pulled a face like someone made her leak battery acid, and said it was too sour, too acidic, too everything. Meanwhile, she said she preferred creamy chocolate espresso. Okay, fair. But also, you knew you weren't at Starbucks, right? This is a French bakery. Next, she went in on the cannoli. Now, I am no pastry expert, but calling a $5 homemade cannoli expensive because you once paid less in the south of France? Ma'am, be serious. This is Scottsdale, not a beach in Saint Tropez. And that logic, it left the group chat.
I don't know what you heard, but everything about that review sounded horrible to me. And keep in mind, the bakery she went to, they have made a full video sharing all of their information, how long it takes them to make all of this food, where they get their food, where they're sourcing ingredients from other countries. Genuine, 100% genuine. They even showed screenshots of her talking to them, and they're like, she basically blackmailed us and then gave us a horrible review and thought that we would just not say anything. So we have to stand up for ourselves, because I haven't worked this hard as a bakery to make it to where I am, to let someone like her come in and destroy it. Because if she treats me like this, she's for sure treating other people like this. That is like a normal person response. The food critic who did all of this is now playing the victim.
Then came the quiche. She complained about the crust being too thin, so much so that she joked she would have just ordered an omelette. Because apparently, if it's not giving eggy brick, it's not giving at all. And y'all, this wasn't some balanced critique. This was her actively trying to tear down every dish like she had something to prove. The one item she did kind of compliment, the pumpkin pie croissant. But even that was delivered with the same energy you give when your friend asks what you think of their bangs and you just go, it's different. She said it was a little too sweet and added the other people might like it, but not her. Then she wrapped it up with a comment about how she'd rather get bad service in Paris than come back here. Like, what? From start to finish, her tone wasn't just critical, it was bitter. It wasn't just feedback, it was a performance. You could almost feel her trying to stir something up. She sounds less like someone giving an honest opinion and more like someone who wanted to go viral for being mean. Like, ma'am, did the croissant steal your man? What is going on here?
Influencers have a bad reputation. This girl, Glamorama, she deleted her videos off of the internet, by the way. Reached out to this pastry asking for free food in exchange for a review. And I think she included that she doesn't even want to tip people. I just want to say that not every influencer is like that. Whenever I accept a collaboration invitation from a food or service in exchange, I tip the same amount or close to the amount as I would have paid. But the pettiness of going there because they said no and just reviewing their food in a negative way, like, you can't do that. This is karma for you. And I just want to say that I'm super happy that this pastry is blowing up and she is getting more customers than ever because of that video. So I think it was well deserved, and again, karma.
The whole video felt personal, and that's what made it so weird. It was like she took the bakery's refusal to do a collab as a personal insult, and this was her revenge meal. Except, instead of posting a cute TikTok haul, she posted a hit piece on a small business. This is the exact moment the story flips, when the bakery decides they're not going to stay silent. JL Pastry responded with grace, calm, and most importantly, receipts. They posted screenshots showing that Glamorama had initiated the conversation. Her original message was sweet and polite. Hey, many friends have recommended your pastries. They look amazing. I saw the pumpkin one on TikTok. I was hoping to come do a free Saturday or Sunday. Would you be interested in a collab? That's a clear ask for free food in exchange for a promotional post. The bakery responded kindly, saying they weren't able to offer a paid collaboration at the time. But Glamorama didn't stop there. She followed up with this doozy. When it's a collab, I still do an honest review and focus on what I enjoyed. I'll be softer on what I didn't like. If the experience is bad, I won't post it at all. The meal will need to be comped, including gratuity. Translation: give me free food or I might trash your business.
to my art.
This is not content. That's a shakedown with sprinkles. The bakery thanked her and said they would consider it. But the next day, without a confirmed collab, Glamorama went to the bakery, dined, got extra drinks for free, and still posted a takedown. JL Pastry responded with even more proof, receipts for their authentic ingredients. Pistachio paste imported from Italy. Flour sourced from Europe. They even posted scanned packaging to show they weren't using fake or low quality products. And in a calm, heartfelt statement, the owner said that while they're happy to take criticism, what they won't tolerate is being lied about and bullied online. She explained that their pride comes not just from ingredients, but from the team that shows up every day to work hard. So where we are now is a bakery under fire for doing nothing wrong, and an influencer caught trying to manipulate public opinion for free food.
Glamorama literally said she will soften her words and run through the things that she didn't like quicker if the food was comped. And if it was just terrible and she just hated it, she won't post a review at all. So your reviews are bullshit. Of course she had to stop making these videos because there's no integrity behind her reviews. Like, reviewing something dishonestly doesn't just mean like you saying it was great when you hated it. It's exactly what you've described. softening and glazing, and this is the best thing that's ever happened to JL Patisserie though. They've gained hundreds of thousands of followers. Apparently there are lines around the block, and it seems well deserved because they're not hiding anything. They give you a very clear behind the scenes look at how these pastries are made, and it is tremendous. That shit looks delicious. I saw a comment that said the bakery should sue for damages. No, girl, there are no damages here. The only thing damaged is that Glamorama girl's future as an influencer. They lost nothing, gained everything.
Let's make sense of what happened here, because this whole saga had more layers than a mealy fillet, and honestly, I needed a moment to breathe. So I sat with it, scrolled through all the receipts, and baby, it became crystal clear. This wasn't just a one-off tantrum. No. This was textbook influencer entitlement unraveling in 4K. And when we break it down, it falls into 3 big categories. Okay, let's call it what it is. This was never about flavor. This was about power. Glamorama didn't walk into that bakery looking for pastries. She came hunting for perks. The second they said, "We can't comp your meal," it became personal. And when she didn't get what she wanted, boom, she turned into the Yelp version of Regina George with a ring light. This is the same mindset we've seen over and over again, where some influencers think that because they have a platform, the world owes them something. And if they don't get it, well then, someone must pay. That's not a review. That's revenge. Now, this one's sneaky, because influencers will say, "I'm just being honest," when really they're performing. There is a difference between giving constructive feedback and dragging someone through the mud just to go viral. Glamorama didn't just say, "I didn't like the flavor." She said the coffee was disgusting, the pastries looked fake, and the pistachio reminded her of body parts. Like, what happened to nuance? She wasn't reviewing, she was roasting. And for what? A couple of views? A comment section of people calling her bold? She wanted clout, but all she got was exposed. And this last one, this is where it got wild. Because the second JL Pastry pulled out the screenshots, and I mean her own words in her own messages, Glamorama did not own it. She did not reflect. She didn't even pause. She straight up said they were bullying her. She accused them of twisting the narrative, even though the receipts were word for word what she had posted. Sis, you can't gaslight the entire internet when we've already seen the text thread. She tried to paint herself as the misunderstood victim, like she was just out here spreading awareness about pastries gone wrong. But in reality, she started the whole thing, then threw a tantrum when it didn't go her way. So what does that tell us? That some influencers aren't being dragged, they are being held accountable. And unfortunately, some of them can't tell the difference. After the bakery's receipts went viral, Glamorama's reputation took a hit. She started deleting videos. She changed her username, and she posted what looked like an AI-generated apology that read, "I wasn't trying to hate. Maybe it was just my taste buds that day. Sorry if it came off wrong." Then she added a sprinkle of victimhood. "I've been really sick lately. I know some people think I am a bad person, but I am trying my best." Bestie, you weren't sick when you typed that long message demanding a comped meal with gratuity included. She also claimed that she had loved the pumpkin spice croissant and enjoyed the service. 2 things that somehow didn't make it into her original review. Convenient. At this point, she was backtracking so hard she needed a chiropractor. Even worse, she insisted that she never implied she'd trade a good review for a freebie, when that's literally what she wrote, word for word. She said the pistachio tasted fake. The bakery showed proof it wasn't. She claimed she wasn't lying, but the evidence says otherwise. And then, because it wouldn't be influencer drama without passive-aggressive send-off, she ended her post with a backhanded compliment. I wish you called pillars at night. Okay. She said the pistachio tasted fake. The bakery showed proof it wasn't. She claimed she wasn't lying, but the evidence says otherwise. And then, because it wouldn't be influencer drama without passive-aggressive send-off, she ended her post with a backhanded compliment. I wish you called pillars at night. Okay, what does that even mean? We're all confused. In the end, she deleted more content, changed her socials again, and tried to quietly fade into the digital abyss. But by then, screenshots were everywhere. Bottom line, Glamourama got caught trying to manipulate a small business. She asked for free food, got told no, and used her platform to retaliate. That's not honest reviewing. That's influencer entitlement dressed up as just my opinion. She could have taken accountability. She could have said, I was wrong. But instead, she doubled down, then tried to paint herself as the victim. What do you think? Was Glamourama truly unaware of how entitled she sounded? Or was this all just one big power play gone wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more unfiltered breakdowns. See you in the next one.